have to itch my nose. Okay, that's all right. It happens. Oh.
Redoing it right now.
Okay.
All right. We're live on.
All right. What is the date today?
Today is the 26th.
26. Okay. This month is just flying by. Oh, it says it right there. Yeah. Oh, well, good morning. We're going to give everybody a chance to log on. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. We have a special guest today, which we will introduce. Good morning, Gail. Hard at work, I see. Good morning, Barbara and Gay Storm and Colleen.
Yeah, a lot of good morning.
Yes.
Janome even.
Oh, wow. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. I know I can't sing, so you just have to put up with it. All right. So today we have Sam from Janome on, and he's going to talk about the skyline that's sitting right next to me. So we're going to get a lot of good information and good pricing and all the fun stuff.
Should we bring him on?
Yes, let's bring Sam on. Good morning, Sam, and welcome to our Thumbs Up Thursday.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. What are you going to be covering today?
I'm covering the Skyline S7. I'm going to go over some of the screens, some of the features, the buttons, what all the machine comes with, show them a couple of things, you know, all the good stuff that you want to know about taking one of these home with them.
I started out with the Skyline S5, and that's a wonderful machine. I love the Skylines.
Yes, they're a nice machine. If you have a full-size machine, this is a good machine to take to retreats with you, because you know, on the retreat you're at a longer time period, like 5 days or so, and you may not want to take that little bitty one, the little travel machine that you take for like a night event, or like to a guild meeting or something like this. This is one of those that's good, or you have a second property somewhere, good one to take with you.
Oh, it is. Yes. I ended up giving mine to my granddaughter, and she loves sewing on it.
Great, great.
Good morning, Brenda. All right. So, Sam, I'm just going to let you take over, and if you have questions, feel free to ask Sam, and we'll relay the question to him. So take it over, Sam.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Just to let you know, there is someone here in the office. I'm coming to you from our studio in Janome studio in New Jersey. There is somebody in our office monitoring the questions too. So if you have any questions, they will get answered by somebody in the office. And then if something, you know, she can't answer, I can certainly answer it for you. Okay, so let's get started. We're talking about the Skyline S7 Anniversary Edition. Can you believe this machine's been out for 10 years already? So this is Skyline's Anniversary Edition, and the machine itself has 350 stitches, as you can see across the top. Right here, we have 350 decorative stitches to choose from. The machine, if you look up here, if they zoom in on the machine, you can see that we have some stitches that has a gray box around them. That means these stitches can be mirror image upside down. All the stitches on the machine can be mirror image upside down. So we have 350 stitches. There are alphabets available. There is 10 different fonts available, and then we'll go over that in a little bit. And the machine itself, we have an 8-inch throat space right here. So not as big as our top of the line, but this is a real nice mid-range throat space. If you're brand new to sewing, this is a good machine. It's a machine where something you can grow into, that you're not going to grow out of it, anytime soon and really fast. Another thing I love about this machine is it does have the auto lift system. And what I mean by that is you push a button or you step on the foot control, the foot comes up and down automatically. So let's talk about the buttons on the machine right here. I show you the auto foot lifter right here. We have a scissor key. So what that means is when I get through sewing, I touch the scissor key, it cut both of my thread, top and bottom, and raises the pressure foot automatically. I have a speed bar right here, like a cruise control for your car. I can slow down the speed or speed up the speed of the machine. I have a needle up, needle down button right here, an auto tie-off key. What the auto tie-off key does is when I hit this key, it makes a few stitches and put a little knot on the back of the last stitch. I have a reverse key and I have a start-stop button. What the start-stop button is used for is sometimes when you're doing something where you have, let's say you're doing a decorative stitch on a ribbon or something like that, instead of stepping on the foot control for like 6 yards of the ribbon you're stitching on, you can just hit the start-stop button and run the machine that way. So this is a nice feature. Another thing I want to point out, this machine does come with this really nice extension table. You do have a free arm on here. And right here in the front, what I want to show you real quick is this. Right here, we have a lever, and it comes with a second throw plate. When I press this button right here, the plate pops up. I simply slide it out, and I can put on my single hole plate, or straight stitch needle plate we call it. And it just snaps into the machine right here like so, and snap it into position. And I get a message on the screen saying straight stitch needle plate is set. Please make sure the proper foot is attached. Now to clear it, to get clear of the message. And as you can see, all I have right now are my straight stitches on the machine, because the plates have sensors on them. It's not going to let me select the stitch where it's going to break a needle or jam the machine up. So isn't that a great thing? That's why I just love this machine. A lot of the features you have on the higher end machine is on here. So I'm going to change the plate again, and you watch the screen, will show you the other stitches will come back. And again, I simply press down on the plate, it pops up, remove this. I'm putting the zigzag plate back on, slide it on, press it on, and I get to make sure proper pressure foot is attached. I'm going to exit out. And now you can see all my other stitches is available back on the screen. Okay, so now we have a free arm on this machine. If you don't want to use the extension table, okay, it does come with this other extension table that just goes right here on the machine like so. So you do have this option. There is a built-in needle threader right here. Okay. And the other nice thing about this machine is the side does open up. And what's so nice about this, sometimes our thread gets caught in here and we can't access the take-up, your take-up lever and stuff like that. But with the side cover being open, we can get into it. And you can look into the machine and everything and clean it out really well and all that. Okay. Let me show you the needle threading. That's one thing people always say. I want to show you this semi-automatic needle threader. I have it threaded through the machine it has numbers on the top. You just follow it for threading. And the last thing you do is pull it up to 7 right here. Bring it to the back, cut it on the thread cutter on the side, pull down, and my needle is threaded. There's my thread tail right here. See that? Nice and easy. The foot for the machine just snaps on and off, and I lost it when it first came off somewhere. Okay, but no problem. That's the straight stitch needle, the regular needle foot. Now, let's look at some of the accessory that comes with this machine. It does have a knee lift. Okay. You also have a buttonhole spacer. You get 3 different free motion quilting foot. Now, these quilting foot just snaps onto the machine. We have a closed toe, an open toe, and echo quilting. And then for those of you who like to do free motion quilting the old-fashioned way, we do have this one. Now, some machine, we call it the darning foot or the mending foot. And back then, before quilting got that popular, they used to call this the free motion quilting foot. So yes, you can use it for that. This is a closed toe. You get other foot. You get the overcast foot. You get the decorative stitch foot. You get 2 of them. This one has a closed opening. And then you have this one, which has an opening in the front. And a lot of people like using this for applique. And the nice thing about these decorative stitch foot, we call it that, is because the back has a tunnel behind it to allow the stitches to travel through when you're doing decorative stitches so they don't get bunched up. You have a button sewing foot. You have an upgraded buttonhole foot. And this buttonhole foot has a stabilizer plate for it also. And what the stabilizer plate is used for is when you have something real slippery, like some organza or something like that, you would put the fabric in between the buttonhole. It stabilizes it. And when it makes the buttonhole, you don't get the bar tack too early or pass it because it's right there. It holds all your fabric together and it eliminates some of the puckering that you may have for it also. You get a screwdriver, some thread snips, and with the anniversary edition, you have, include some little clips, some binder clips. You have some straight pins. And look at this cute little thing. It's a pin cushion. They even give you a pin cushion and it installs right here on the top of the machine. So when you pull out your pins, you can just stick it right here in the pin cushion. Not only that, with the anniversary edition model, in addition to the plain clear white bobbins, you get this nice box with some blue bobbins in here. So let me open it up. This is a cleaning cloth for the screen. And you get a case with some really nice blue bobbins. Now, one thing nice about these blue bobbins is, if you don't know about the Janome bobbins, the clear ones that comes with the machine, okay, all the bobbins from Janome have some rubber to them. And by rubber to them, when they're sewing in the machine, it runs a lot quieter. If you ever used bobbins that you get online or from a secondary manufacturer that said it fits the Janome machines, or they're basic class 15 bobbins, then they're not from Janome. They don't have the rubber on them. And how you can tell is sometimes after you get through sewing on them, the bobbin will be all scratched up. And that's because there is no rubber on those bobbins. The blue ones have extra bobbins. And how you tell the bobbins are from Janome is like this. I'm opening up the cover right here where I have more feet stored. Right here. As you can see, there's more feet. You got a 1/4 inch foot, a blind hem foot, a zipper foot, and a rolled hem foot that's included also. And here's the clear bobbins that comes with the machine. In the center of the stem, you guys probably can't see it, all our bobbins from Janome will have a J in the center of it. This way you know these are true Janome bobbins and they will have some rubber to the bobbins. They run a lot quieter in your machine. And if you're using generic bobbins, if you have issues with your bobbins, that could be the reason. Okay, not saying you can't, but you're buying a quality machines, you should be using quality bobbins. Okay, I'll remove this again, and I'm going to put the table back on here. Don't forget, this table does come with the machine. Don't you? I just love this extension table. Okay, see how it just puts right on here? The feet is fully adjustable, so you can get the height nice and smooth, nice big area. And again, this is an 8-inch stroke space. Not only that, you get a nice instruction manual. The instruction manual is very intuitive. It tells you everything, how to use every button, how to use every stitch on the machine and everything. Not only that, it comes with a cover. This is a soft, they call it a semi-hard cover because it's not really a hard, rigid cover. And the cover itself has a flap that's magnetic. The top of it has an opening. So what that does is you can close the lid, put the handle over it. So when you're ready to travel, you can just lift the machine out and the cover will just go over here like this and hold in place. And then if you're not using the machine, you can just put the handle down, it snaps and it puts onto your machine like so. So you can keep the dust away. But having a machine like this, I know you won't be using this cover because you can just love sewing on it so much. You can be sewing on it every day. Or at least I hope you're sewing or quilting on it every day. If you love sewing as much as I do, I'm always on my machine. My machine hardly ever takes a break. Okay, so let's talk about the screen itself. Okay, on the straight stitch, on this machine, on the bottom, it gives me information. On a straight stitch right here, it says 4.5. I have a plus and a minus right here. Underneath that is my stitch length. And because I'm on a straight stitch, 4.5 is my center needle position. On this machine, it's a 9mm width. So I have 91 needle position on the straight stitch. So it moves in increments of 1. So if I want to move the needle over to the left, if I touch the minus key, can you guys see how this is moving to the left? And now as you can look on the screen, it says 0, 0. If I plus it, now it's going to move over to the right. And you can, it's moving one increment at a time. And you can see it also moving on the screen. You guys see that? It's moving right here. I can see it on the screen, right? Moving. This oval is showing you my zigzag stitch space where it's moving. And also you can see it moving right here, the needle position. Now, if I want to change the stitch length, I can make it longer by plussing it. And I can get up to 5.0, which is the maximum stitch length. So this is pretty much your basting stitch right here. This is a 5.0 stitch length. On the bottom of the screen, anytime I choose a different stitch, it's going to tell me what foot to use. It's not going to give me a foot that's not on the machine. Okay. Now, if I want to see the next set of stitches down here, I have my page turn key. So I simply touch the page turn key and it turns to the next page. And right here, you can see this is a overcast stitch. And you can see it tells me put the M foot on. Right here, the M foot is this foot right here. And you can see right here, it's got the letter M on it. Some foam from the unpacking the machine has the letter M. So all the foot have letters on them. So you always know what foot to use. And I find the Janomes very easy to use. Now, we have these 350 stitches up here. Let's say we want to go to a different category. Let's say you want to do applique quilting. Okay, so on this here, I have all the different categories like utility, buttonhole, applique, heirloom, quilt stitches, satin stitches, some decorative stitches, a lot of decorative stitches, some long stitches, pictographs, and so forth. It even comes with a software that allows you to make your own stitches. It's called Stitch Composer. It lets you create your own decorative stitches. Okay, and so this is how we get to them. Okay, so let's say I want to go look at my applique stitches, and I want this one to kind of look like a feather. Okay, it's number 17 under the applique section. So up here, the next key up here that looks like two scrolls, I touch that. A window open up, and we have the first thing says applique. So the sections I have to choose from in this next window is exactly like the sections in the screen. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It's kind of glare, a lot of glare in the studio. I have applique, heirloom, quilt, satin. Just follow across the lid just like on the screen. So I said applique, so I'll kind of touch applique. And it shows me the first 10 stitch that's here. So I need stitch number 18. So I'm going to turn the page. And there's number 18 right here. So I'm going to select number 18. It tells me to put my F foot in the machine. It already shows me that I'm on a 9mm wide stitch. I have a 0.40, that's the stitch length. So I'm going to put an F foot on and stitch this so you guys can see what it looks like. What a 9mm stitch look like. The feet just snaps on and off. I'm going to drop the foot just like that. And I have a piece of fabric here. And anytime we're doing decorative stitch, we need to make sure we have some stabilizer with it. And I do have a piece of stabilizer underneath it. And because this is an automatic pressure foot, I don't have to lower the foot. I simply just step on the foot control. I'm going to move the speed up some so we're not sitting here watching it stitch. And just look, the machine just pulls the fabric straight. The dogs feed the fabric through evenly. I don't really have to guide it. You just barely have to touch your hands to guide it just a little bit. So you just keep it straight. I have a line drawn on this fabric. It's in white, so it's probably you probably can't see it. I'm looking at the center point right here. And so let's say I'm done. I'm at the end. So I just stop. If I want to tie off the stitch, I simply touch the tie off key. Okay, now it's tying off. It's finishing the pattern. There it goes. And I'm going to touch the scissors and watch. It cuts both thread for me, and the foot just raised up. And there's my little grassy looking applique stitch. So that's another way of doing applique. There's lots of different stitches on this machine. Let's look at something else I want to show you. Another fun stitch on this machine that I love is you have things like a spool of thread, a needle, and some scissors. Now on this machine, I can combine these patterns easily. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Right here on my machine, this very first key right here, it looks like a foot with the needle down, and the foot is kind of up above the fabric. This is what we call a foot up feature. A lot of people call it the pivoting feature. And what this is, when I activate this button, just like this, the button turns yellow. That means I've turned it on. That means every time I stop, the foot's going to raise up, the needle's going to stay down. And I'll show you how that works in a minute. I want to combine three different designs onto this screen right here. So the key right next to it is my combine key. I simply touch that. My screen right now is blank. Okay, so my designs are under the pictograph section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select decorative stitch right here again and look for the pictograph. It's not on the first page, it's on the next page. And how I know there's two pages, right here on top it says 1/2, meaning there's 2 pages for me to see all the designs on my lid. So I'm going to the second page and it's under pictographs. So I'm going to select pictographs. I think that's what I'm looking at. Yep. Okay. And it's stitch number 23, 24, and 25. And first 10 is on here. So I'm going to go to the second page, and I'm on the third page. And right here's my needle and thread. The first thing's right there. And I'm going to put the spool of thread next. It just added on. And the scissors is my third thing. Well, right now, you notice every time I add one, it disappears off the screen. But I want to see what the combination looked like. So I can just tap on the window, and it shows me my current combination. So when it stitches, it'll stitch the needle and thread, the spool of thread, and the scissors. But if I want to change the position of the stitch, I can easily do that also. So let's just close the screen. I have two arrows right here. Okay, the arrows will move this cursor. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. There's a little cursor right here is in blue. I'm going to move the cursor up, and my scissors just change color. So that's the one I'm editing. So I'm going to move it up. I want to put the spool of thread on the top, okay, because you need to pull the thread off the spool before I can thread the eye of the needle. So what I need to do is trash this one first. So up here, I have a trash can. The needle and thread is lit up in blue, so I just want to get rid of that pattern by simply touching the trash can. I've just deleted it. Now I need to insert it right here in top of the scissors. So I need to bring the cursor down one so the scissor is highlighted. I'm going to touch the needle and thread, and it just inserted. It always insert above the icon. So to let you see it, tap the window and see I have changed the order of the design being stitched. So now it's going to stitch the spool of thread, the needle, and the scissors. And so let's see how that looks like stitched out. So I'm going to stitch it right here. I'm going to step on the foot control. And as you can see, as the design is being stitched, it changes to blue. Now it's doing the scissors. After the scissors, it's going to repeat and start from the spool of thread again. Now, let's say I'm almost done here, almost to the edge of my fabric. It starts the scissors, but I wanted to finish the scissors, and I don't want it to continue on. But I want to put a tie-off stitch at the end of the scissors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it stitch the scissors, hit the tie-off key, and what it does is finishes out the pattern, and then it does the tie-off. And how you know it's finished the pattern is because the cursor now has gone back up to the spool of thread. Okay, now that's done, I'm going to hit the, see how, didn't know if you guys heard it or not. See how the foot is up because I activated the foot up feature? So every time I stop, the foot will come up, the needle stays down. As you can see, my stylus is underneath the foot. So I'm just going to cut it. It'll cut both of my thread for me and raise the foot up. There's my stitch pattern. Isn't that fun? Now, the nice thing is I'm not stuck to just these patterns here. I can use any patterns on this machine. I can even combine letters with this if I want to. Let's say right here, I'm starting on the beginning of the thread. Let's say I want to insert something above it. So I'm going to move the cursor. The cursor is right there on the top. Let's say I want to put some letterings to it. So I'm going to put the lettering, touch the lettering feature right here, the letter A. Here are my letters that's available to me. I have block, script, Broadway, and 9mm block letters. So let's do block. I'm going to select block. And as you can see on the screen, here's my block letters A to Z. After that, I have 3 different spaces. These are what these squares are for putting space on. If I turn to the next page, I have numbers. I have accent markings. Go to the next page. I've got more little stuff I can put on the screen. So there's 5 pages here. If I continue on, now I have even more accent markings on top of my letters and stuff like that. Okay, so let's go back and we're going to spell the word thread on top of the spool of thread. So I'm going to look for the letter T. Now, if you notice, they're all in uppercase. The T just appeared. I want to go from uppercase to lowercase. I simply touch this A. I know you guys can't see it on the screen, but behind the uppercase A, it's kind of grayed out behind this letter. When I touch it, the small case, lowercase a appears. Now all my letter is in lowercase. So I simply touch the rest of the word. H, R, E, A, and D. Okay, so there's the word thread. And let's say I want to put a space because I don't want to just stitch that and go directly to it. So I have three choices. I'm going to put a square. It's not going to stitch the square. It's just going to put a space between the last letter and that. So if I want to add more letters or add something to it, I can keep spacing down and continue to add to my pattern. Or if I want to repeat it again, okay, if I did it like this, when it finishes scissors, the next thing it's going to do is start the letter T right here. But you don't want to stitch that close, so I'm going to put another pattern right here. Okay, so we're going to have a space, and then it's going to stitch the word. So let me show you how that looks like. And again, and see, it's starting from the very beginning, stitching out the letters. As you can see, as it stitches out, the designs and the letters drop off the screen. Just did the D. Now see how fast it did that little skip space? The thread, it's going to be the needle. And when it starts the scissors, it's going to push the tie off key. Now, when it finishes the scissors, it's going to finish out the pattern and do the lock off key, and did that, and it's going to cut it. And look, there's my letter. And it look nice? The way that you see it on the screen is the way it's going to stitch out. So that's how nice your letters are. They're nice and big. And the nice thing about this is if you want to do a quilt label or something like this, you do have fonts available to you for doing your quilting labels and things like that. Okay. Another fun stuff we have on this machine that a lot of people don't point out, because, you know, we all do the same thing that we know so well that we don't, you know, do other things. These satin stitches on here, okay, these on here can be elongated. Now I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to clear this pattern out, all these patterns out. So it's by hitting the trash can. I just deleted all the patterns out. And I'm going to go back to the decorative stitch again. I'm going to satin stitches. And I want to show you what I mean. In the satin stitches, I don't want to combine them right now. I just want one. As stitch out, it's going to stitch out this design as is. And we'll stitch a couple of, and then what I mean by elongation is, right now it's 9mm width is 4.0. I can open up this little arrow right here. It opens up a next screen. Now on the next screen, right here, it says ×1. That means it's the original size of the design. If I touch ×2, you see how just got longer? ×3, ×4, ×5. 5 is the max. And you notice this got so considerably longer. When I go into this, the elongation button, it keeps the stitch density. It's not just stretching the design out. It keeps the stitch density. It's only available on satin stitches. All my other stitches, I cannot do that too, okay? So I'm going to stitch it out on a regular so you can see what it looks like. I'm going to minus it back to the normal, okay? So ×1. So let me close this window. I'm going to just stitch a couple of patterns so you guys can see what I mean. It doesn't take but a second to do this. Okay, started the second pattern. I'm going to go ahead and push the tie off key so that way when it finishes, it won't continue on and I don't cut off the end of the pattern. Use the scissors. See, that's how the normal stitch one looks like. Okay, now I'm going to show you the max. So I'm going to open up this window. I'm going to push it to ×5. And we're going to stitch it again. Close the window. And I don't know if you guys can see it while it's stitching, but it's a nice long shape. Okay, I'm not going to stitch more than 2 since it already started. I hit the tie off key and it will finish the pattern and then do a tie off. See, there it goes. Now the machine does let you go into the settings and set it up so when you do a tie off, every time you finish doing a tie off, it can automatically cut the threads for you also, but that is something you need to go into the settings to do. I did not do that prior to coming on live. Now this is what the original one looks like. This is what the 5 times elongation looks like. So with this being elongated, you see there are some spacing in here. I can go into the machine and make these stitches more of a satin stitch. Okay, so I'm going to show you how that's done. So right here, I can shorten it some more. See how the pattern had shortened it? It's still elongated, but I tightened the satin stitch. I don't want to see how that is. I'm going to tighten it. I'm going to stitch just a couple and show you guys. It won't be as long, but it's still elongated. And you'll see it's a lot denser design. So if you like doing crazy quilting, or this is another way to finish the edge of your quilt if you want to. Okay, I think it's almost at the end. So started a second one. I'm going to hit the tie off key. I'm not sure if I'm doing 1 or 2. Okay, I'm in the middle of the second one, so it's going to take a minute. Okay, just finished. The foot came up. Hit the scissors. And you can see the first one, it's elongated, but it got shorter because I shrunk it down to make it more a satin fill. So it is fully usable for stuff like that. Now I'll show you those things. I want to show you this. Some of the design can be mirror image both ways. I'm going to show you how easy it is to mirror image so you guys can see. It's in the pictograph section. So I'm going to go back into here. Go to pictographs, which is on the second page. And let's see, number 10. I'm looking on here because I want to see, because some of them you will go both ways, some of them will not. So let's do the boot. Oh, not the boot. Yeah, here. It's a boot and a card. They kind of look alike. So the boot's number 9 right here. As you can see, the boot is facing one side right now. When I touch the mirror image, this little hamburger looking thing, like it's sitting on the side, it's going to flip it the other direction. You just see how it's now to the right, the bottom of the shoe to the right. Touch it again. It's back to the left. I can mirror image left to right. Now I can mirror image the toe from top to bottom just by touching this other icon. It's so simple to do. And it tells you right now the shoe's been mirror image both ways because both of my icons have turned yellow. Okay, so like I say, this is a very easy machine to use. And I just flipped it back to the normal. Now, if I have a stitch where it cannot be mirror image both ways, your icon will not show up. For example, like, I'm trying to find one that you can tell the difference if I flipped it. These washing tags, okay? Like this one right here. This is a do not wash tag. This one, I cannot mirror image upside down. I can mirror image only left to right. Like I said, all the icons, all the designs can be mirror image left to right. Okay, so it's that easy. Now, another thing we have on this machine, it's called, the very last key up here is a t-shirt. This is called sewing application. Okay, what sewing application has is like a tutorial. It's a lack of a better term to call it. And let's say I'm doing something like, you might wondering that there's a thing here says gathering. You want to know why would they put a gathering icon in here? Now, when you select gathering, it asks you, are you doing gathering something like a straight across the top, or are you gathering a cap on a sleeve? For those of you who sew, you know what I'm talking about. If I was going to gather a skirt, just a straight area, my stitch length is on 4.0. If I was doing a sleeve cap, it shrunk the basting stitch down to 3.0. So what this does is when you go into sewing application, the tension changes and it always gives you the suggested stitch length for what you're doing. I'm just using this as an example. So let's go back and look at something else. I'm sure I have some of you that do have quilting out there. Let's look at applique. Now this feature, you can only find it in the sewing application. And as far as I know, this is only found in the Janome machines, and not all of them have this feature. It's mostly on your midline to your higher end machine. And this is what we call a cornering feature. Okay, so for those of you who do applique, you know what I'm talking about. You have a corner when you're doing an applique like this. Okay. Like for square, for example, we have a corner when we do our applique. And what we normally do when we're doing a applique like a blanket stitch, we count the stitches. So we know when we have to stop. So when we turn it, the bite will come out in the proper area. So don't bite too soon, overlap and stuff like that. But those of you who do applique, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have a feature called cornering feature. So on the screen, I have my foot up feature turned on. So when I stop, the foot will come up automatically. I don't need to use my knee lift to bring the foot up, and I don't have to press the button to bring my foot up. The next thing I'm going to do is right now, it has a straight line for the regular blanket stitch. I'm going to touch this button. And now I have a corner blanket stitch right here. I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen up there. I can also have a corner right here on the display window, and it has the letter B. B means the beginning of the stitch. So anytime you want to do applique, you want to make sure these two is selected. Now it's got a couple of applique stitches here. You have some doubles, double stitch, and some narrower stitch, and then you have the letter M and the R. M means the needle is going to come down in the center needle position. R means the needle is going to come in the right needle position, and it will only take a bite to the left. So, which is no big deal. But if you want to make the bite bigger or whatever, you can move the needle to make it bigger. For example, right now it's on a middle position. It's 3.5. My bite is 3.5. If I want to make the bite bigger, I can hit the plus key and see how it's moving on the screen? I can make this bite all the way up to 9.0. This is a 9mm width bite. With that bite, I can also make the stitch length further apart by plussing it. See the difference? See how big this is? So I can do it both ways. I want to just show you this real quick so you guys can understand what I'm saying. As you can see, this is your applique stitch. Love what they call a blanket stitch. See, this is a pretty big stitch. Now, sometimes I would use this stitch if I'm doing something like in the wintertime. I guess in California, you guys don't really have a need for that. But here in New Jersey, in the fall, we have to like put blankets around, sometimes too heavy for a winter blanket. So we use polar fleece. And sometimes when you buy polar fleece, they have those pre-done blankets where have the stitch around the edge. And you can mimic that stitch by putting a heavier thread and stitching around the edge of your blanket. So we can do a mimic blanket stitch. And as you can see, this is a 9mm blanket stitch. Of course, you're not going to do something that big on your applique. You probably want a smaller stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it to the M. And this is going to be a very small bite, a 2.0 bite. Okay, so a 2.0 bite is almost like what they call an invisible applique. Applique stitch. And I'm going to stitch this. I'm going to have to sit in front of the machine a little bit so I can see where I'm going. So I'm going to drop the foot and look to make sure I get the needle clue out. I have to change the foot out. I got the wrong foot. I was wrong. I've got the regular F foot. I'm going to put the open toe F foot in the machine. This way I can see where the opening of the fabric is, where the edge of the fabric is. There. Okay. When you're doing applique, you don't ever want to start in the point at the corner because it's always hard to end back up in the corner. So I'm going to drop the needle right at the edge of the applique. I don't know if they can zoom in enough where you guys can see this or not. And I'm going to slow down the machine. I'm sitting to the side. So I'm going to start stitching. As you can see, this is a tiny little stitch that it's doing. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm not counting the stitches because I'm talking to you. And when I get to the corner, okay, right here, I'm at the corner. I want to make sure the needle is on the right side of the swing. I stopped. The needle is down. The foot is up. I'm going to pivot. I need to come down just one more. So I'm going to manually come to the edge. I wasn't quite at the edge. Okay, I'm at the edge now. So drop the foot. Shouldn't drop the foot. Just turn it. Drop my foot and make sure this is straight. And then I want to touch the B to let the machine just start from the beginning. So it's going to take those 2 stitches before it takes the bite. As you can see, I'm sitting sideways, trying to sew this applique. I'm almost to the point again. One more stitch forward, right there. I'm at the corner. I'm going to turn the fabric. I'm going to touch the start over key right here, and we're going to start. So if you love doing applique, you're going to love this feature on this machine. Okay, I'm going to stop and pull it out and let you guys see it. And you always use, can you guys zoom in and see the corner I'm talking about? By doing the start beginning of the stitch, my bite is right here. I'm not crossing over. This is a better point right here. See how my bite just barely touch? I'm not crossing over. And the best thing is, sometimes when we're counting our stitches, you never know when this one stitch going to stick right here in the left corner. You guys know what I'm talking about? I call it like a chicken feet because it just comes out and it stitches right here. You never know when it's going to do that. And then you got to go back and pull it out and finagle it to get rid of that one little stitch. Well, this way it gives you the perfect cornering, and this is done on the applique. Now, the cool thing about this is, if you notice up here, I can mirror image this stitch also. So I don't have to, if I'm doing a big quilt or a big piece of fabric, instead of me trying to shove all this fabric through here, I can simply just flip the stitch to the left so the bite is over to the right. So it makes it a whole lot easier to do. Okay. Okay. So another thing we have in here is quilting. I'm sure I have some quilters up here. There's a lot of quilting function available on this machine. For example, for those of you who like to do free motion quilting, right here it says free quilting. I simply touch free quilting. Machine tell me to lower my feed dogs. My feed dogs, there's a lever on the side. I'm pulling it forward to drop the feed dogs. Once I drop the feed dogs, the machine changes and it tell me to use the PDH foot, which is the spring-loaded hopping foot. Well, I don't want to use that one. I want to use the one that just float my fabric, which is this one below it right here. When I touch that, you notice the foot changes. And so what I can do is simply take this foot off, and I'm going to put the free motion quilting foot. See this tiny little foot? You have this in open and closed toe. This is your free motion quilting foot, and it has 2 bars on it. So anytime you have a foot with 2 bars, the back bar gets hooked up to the back of the ankle and is pushed forward to snap into position like so. Okay. Well, sometimes it's hard to do it when you're sitting sideways to do this. There we go. This just snaps on. And I'm going to put the foot down. Well, when you're doing free motion, you should do this, okay? Put the foot down. And I can see how much space is between the foot and the fabric. If it is too high up, I can open this window up and adjust my tension. Let's see, wrong thing. Okay, I'm gonna close the window right here. This is my foot adjustment right here. I can adjust my foot height. I'm using a very thin fabric. So if I need to adjust my foot height, right now it's 1.5 millimeters, which is probably the right height, but I just want to show you. I can adjust to make it lower if I need to. Okay, I still got movement available. Still have movement, and you can adjust your fabric. Now, the reason I tell you to adjust your fabric is because if you're doing free motion quilting and you're using something like this, where your foot is just floating, it's not going to go down and hold down when the needle takes a stitch, and your foot is too high up. You're not going to get a good stitch, number one. Number two, your fabric's going to get flagging. Flagging is when your needle's going down, the fabric goes down. When your needle comes up, the fabric gets pulled up, and it do this. When you're stippling or doing free motion quilting, that's called flagging. What that will do is cause your thread to break, or you'll have loop stitches or ugly stitches. Most of the time is caused because your foot is too high up. So we can adjust the foot height right here direct on the screen. So we'll hit OK. And I can just now do my free motion quilting. The machine takes 1 stitch and stop to allow me to pull up on my bobbin thread. Okay. And then I have to just pretend I pulled it up already. And I'm going to step again, and it goes. And see, I'm just doing free motion quilting like this, straight, simple, nice, easy. As you can tell, I'm not a free motion. It's hard. I don't have any gloves. I don't have any slider or anything like that on. Besides that, I'm not a good free motion quilter. I'm horrible at free motion quilting. But I just wanted you to see. Cut it. There's the top. There's the bottom. There's why I didn't pull my thread up. Okay, see, beautiful stitches. No eyelashing, no nothing. And this is for somebody who can't quilt, to do free motion quilting either. But this is something I want to point out to you about free motion quilting. Now, another thing we have on here, we have another screen on here, the next page. You have what's called a ruler work mode in here. This machine allows you to do ruler work. As a ruler work mode, the foot is an optional foot. It's not included with the machine. It is an optional foot. And this is what it looks like. Okay. The foot has a 1/2 inch side on it, so it's 1/2 inch thick. It's like your standard foot, which means the center needle position to the edge of the foot is a 1/4 inch. I'm going to show you what ruler work is. So I'm going to have to change the foot. How many of you have done ruler work before? You can just say in the comments if you've never done it. It's no big deal. If you're not aware, ruler work right now is the hottest thing in the quilting market. Anytime there's a show, like a Road to California, every time they have a free motion quilting class, that class is filled. And it's usually the first class to fill up at any quilting show that I've been to. It is the hottest, latest thing. And that's because there are people like me who can't quilt, who can't do free motion quilting. And by doing free motion quilting, I mean that you try to do a pattern and a circle looks like a pointed thing, just look horrible, and I don't have the time to sit here and spend 8 hours a day for a week trying to perfect my free motion quilting. So what this allows me to do is, this is ruler work. This is what we call a ruler, which is a template. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to follow the template to get your pattern. So we call it ruler work. So I'm going to show you what this does. So I'm going to raise up my foot to bring it. And by the way, this has an extra high lift on the machine. See how the foot comes up so I can slide my ruler in and out? I'm going to lower the foot and I'm going to lower the foot itself. Okay. As I can tell that right now, my foot is still kind of high up on this machine. I'm really ready to do ruler work right now. But what I want to do is I want to lower the foot. On the screen, I have medium and light. I'm going to select light. And what that does is it put the foot closer to the fabric. It just dropped it to 1.5. Okay. So I'm actually ready to do ruler work now. So I want to show you what that looks like. I'm going to slow the machine down some. It's going to take 1 stitch and stop to allow me to pull up the fabric. Okay. So I mean to pull up fabric, pull up the needle, pull up the thread. I keep wanting to hit the stop button because I usually don't use the foot control when I'm doing ruler work. Okay. And I'm supposed to pull up the thread. I didn't. And I'm just going around the template and I'm going back around this other position. Okay. And I just done 1 shape. Now I'm going to pull it out and show you. I just quilted this shape around the ruler. For me trying to do this freehand, there's no way that these two will even look even. Okay. That's just me. I don't know how you are. I mean, some people, if you've been practicing doing free motion quilting, you can probably do it really well. But me, I'm not one to practice that much. Now, with me talking about ruler work, I'm going to be at Authorized Sew and Vac August 1st and 2nd, doing a 1-day ruler work class. I'm doing a class on August the 1st and a class on Saturday, August the 2nd. Let me show you the bag you're going to be making. This is the reversible tote bag that you're going to be making for the ruler work class. I'm going to show you. This is one side of the bag. We're using 1, 2, 3, 4 different rulers in the front. In the back, we're using 2 different rulers to make this design. In the inside, this is totally reversible. Okay. And once I flip this inside out, you see this is another 3 different rulers. I have a ruler here, an arcing ruler here. And this ruler right here was done to do this on this side of the bag. This is done with another ruler. Okay, so there are 4 different panels that you're doing. We're using, I believe, 6 or 7 different rulers altogether. You don't have to have the rulers. You do not have to be experienced. All you have to, everything is provided for you. The kits, we provide the rulers for you to use in class. You can go home and repeat what you made. We're actually could be using a machine with the stitch regulator, and it's going to be on one of the top of the line machines from Janome. And we're one of the few companies that has a stitch regulator, and this is all regulated sewing, which means unlike what I did here, which we have long and short stitches and everything else, your stitch is going to be perfect, just like if you had this, if the feed dogs were up. Now, with that being said, you might think, oh, I've never done ruler work before. Don't worry about it. I've done lots of classes. As a matter of fact, last weekend, I was just in Texas doing this exact class right there. The 2 days combined, I had 3 people that never quilted before. When I say never quilted before, I thought she said, oh, I've never quilted before. I thought she meant she's never done free motion quilting. She told me she never even pieced a quilt before. And she came and took this class, and she was able to get the quilting done, and she was very happy about it. Almost every class I do, I have people who's never done ruler work, who's never done free motion quilting. They've heard about it. They wanted to try it. So now is the best time for you to come and test drive a machine with the stitch regulator and doing ruler work. I mean, that's the best of both worlds, if you ask me. I mean, and the way it's a small class, the class is limited to 20 people each day. I demonstrate on the machine, and you get to stand around me doing it. I don't do it on a screen where you sit there to look at a screen. You're right there in person, personable. I walk you through everything, every single step. You also get to take instructions home with you. That's step by step. And these got nice pictures showing you how all this is done. And once you learn how to do a basic ruler work, you can buy other rulers and continue what you learn. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of practice, because all you're doing is following the template. We call this template quilting, or some people call it free motion quilting with training wheels. Okay, so hope you'll come and join me August 1st and 2nd. Now, that's not it. I still want to show you something else. And that is this month's accessory of the month is the Janome bi-level foot. You guys might have seen the mark ad on this. Now this one is for a 9mm machine. I'm going to take it out of the package, show you guys. The front of the foot has actually needle markings on it, okay? The needle marking is like your center, your left and the right needle position. This one that I have here is the left bi-level foot, meaning the left side has a higher lift right here. It's on the left because when you're sewing, it's like this. So I turned it over, so right now it's on the right-hand side. But when you're on the machine, the lip right here is on the left-hand side. We have one on the left and one that's on the right, okay? This is the bi-level foot 2. It's got BL2, meaning it's the left side. The BL1 is on the right side. And what a lot of people use this for is doing this. It's putting their quilt binding on. And what they would do is you line up your quilt. I guess you did it this way, like here when you're doing it. The folded edge is against the edge of your quilt, like so. You guys see it? I don't know if they can get that close in the camera. I'll try to raise this up. I'll put it up here. Okay. You see how the left side of the foot, it's up against this binding? So you would adjust the needle to where you want it. And then as you stitch, it rides up against the edge of the binding so you can put a quilt binding on. You don't have to use a straight stitch. A lot of people like to use a serpentine stitch, or you can even use a decorative stitch. The serpentine stitch, it's on our machine in the quilting section. It's number 70. It looks like a letter S. A lot of people like to use that stitch. Let me change it. I do have a sample here. I can show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm simply going to pop this foot on. I'm going to take this ruler foot off. Just a second. The only time you have to change, take the ankle off is if you're using something like this. And if you're using the dual feed foot, I think I didn't mention it, but the machine does come with the dual feed foot right here. Okay, this is the dual feed foot. This is similar to what a lot of people call a walking foot. This is called dual feed because right here you have, we call them fingers. It's kind of just like your feed dogs on the bottom. You have some on the top. And what it does is it helps pulls your fabric through. And it's great for doing quilting and things like that. I'm bringing up the pressure foot. And what did I do? My ankle right here. I just put it down. Okay. That is, what did I do my ankle? Did you guys see it? The studio is so bright here. I just had it here a minute ago. What did I do with it? Oh, hello. The studio light is so bright. I'm trying to think of where I'm going. And it's right here in front of my face. How many of you are like that? Except we're all looking for glasses. It's kind of like looking for glasses and they're on top of your head. Okay. Trying to get this foot to snap on. Okay, it's on. They tighten the ankle. It's kind of wiggly. You don't want to fall off and break a needle. Okay. I have this quilt sandwich here. And I was going to do, well, this way. Well, okay. I have my quilt bias tape right here. I'm going to put this against the edge of the bias tape. I'll make some adjustment. And I'm going to select a decorative stitch. I'm going to go to the quilting section. Sorry. I'm going from quilting section. So let me make sure my proper foot is attached. Okay. The foot is up. I am going to look for the serpentine stitch, which is stitch number 70. I'm going to have to go over a couple of pages. I thought it was 70. 70 quilt. Okay. Let's just do. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. This one I couldn't see the little fuzzy 20 your serpentine stitch because I'm looking on the screen. All I could see was this. I couldn't see the little blanket stitch thing sticking out on the lid. Okay, so it is actually number 20. So let me go back. Right here. Let's see, that's your serpentine stitch. So I have it on. As you can see, it's following along the edge of the binding. gonna stop this so we're not here stitching all day. The fabric is kind of thick, so it kind of got bunched up right here. But as you can see, it's keeping its pace stitching across here. So that's your bi-level foot. I can show you on this other piece. Let's do a straight stitch so it won't be stuck. Okay, I'm gonna do this right here like so. Wrong side. And I can move my needle position so you guys can see what I'm talking about. The 91 needle position. Okay, I'm on the edge. I'm going to move the needle all the way over closer to the edge of the quilt binding by touching the minus key. And I'm over too much now. So I'm going to move it back some. I'm checking the needle drop. Okay. Okay, it's close enough. Okay. And if anybody's wondering, I'm putting on 2.3. This is my needle position on this machine, which is a 9mm machine. And I'm going to sew. It's getting stuck on the back. As you can see, there it is, right along the edge. It's nice and even on the quilt binding. Okay, so that's how the bi-level foot work, and that is the accessory of the month. Is there any questions before we finish? I guess they've been answering most of the question, I'm pretty sure. But I want to show you one thing. We always get asked this before they come back. I want to show you this. People's always asking us what kind of material can we sew? How thick of a fabric can we sew? Can you sew on leather? Can you sew on denim? We get asked these questions quite often. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lengthen the stitch some, and I just want to show you these denim pieces right here. This is heavy duty denim, and this is canvas. This is duck canvas, and this is like, you guys know what duck canvas is like. If you know the people that paint on the easel, the paint things, that's usually a neutral color. This is just navy, and it's really thick. It's thicker than that. We're going to start with 4 layers. Well, I'll start with 2. Okay. Okay, that's 2. And you can see my table is vibrating. I'm going to add 2 more to it. So now I'm going through 4. That's 6 layers of duck canvas right there. Let's say you have to add a binding to it. Okay, I'm going to bring the foot up. Let's say you're sewing, this is a tote bag you're making. You're going through all this layer. You need to sew your handles to it. Well, I'm going to stick the handles right here next to it, underneath it. And look, I have no problem sewing through something heavy like that. What about making bags? This is a cork fabric. This is not like the real thin cork fabric that you get. This is like from the home dec department. This is, if you can see, this has a different type backing on it. It's your thicker cork. We're going to put, this is 3 layers right now. I'm going to double that. So we have 6 layers of cork. I'll put it right here. So right through, no problem. Now, this is your pleather. Lots of cosplayers know what this is. The stuff that you make Santa costumes, the boot covers, and all this is pleather. I'm going to put the right size together, because when you're sewing it, you're going to have the right size together. Well, a seam, you're going to have at least 4 layers, if not more. Okay, so that's 4, and that's 6 layers of pleather. And we're just going to add to the mix. Right here, like so. No problem. And we can go from that to something like this. This is diner vinyl. And you know how thick this is. This is what they call diner vinyl, just kind of like Marina vinyl with the backing on it. I'm going from that to this. And we can also sew something like, this is polar fleece to polar fleece. Polar fleece has a nap to it. And this is organza. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a real sheer, not organza, a piece of tulle. See, it's an orange. I'm going from that to this. Sewing straight on there like this. No problem. I'm not changing the needles or anything. I'm just keep on sewing. This is Marina vinyl, 1 layer. And you can see how easily the machine pulls it through. And look, I'm even sewing on air. And I don't have any issues with the machine whatsoever. Look, I sewed all this stuff. They're all connected together. See, I'm sewing all this. My machine didn't jam up. I didn't have, jammed up bobbin cases or anything like this. This is some things that people ask us all the time. Can you sew through heavy stuff? Yes, I went from heavy to lightweight with no issue. So this machine can handle any project that you have, that you're making. So it's a great machine for taking to retreats. It's a great machine if you're starting out, one you can, grow into and not grow out of. And again, the machine only weighs 24.3 pounds. So that's not a bad thing. This an 8-inch stroke space, it's a great machine, and it can do a lot of stuff your high-end machine have. If you have another Janome that has 9mm feet already, you can't put it on this machine. All 9mm feet will interchange. So if you have other optional accessories, you can put it on this machine. I just love this machine, and I hope that you would consider thinking about it if you're getting a machine. And I hope to see you guys in August when I'm there doing the ruler work event. I'm going to bring them back to tell you the pricing on this machine.
Sam, thank you so much. This was so informative.
Well, thank you
This
for having me.
machine is wonderful. I'm just like so impressed with everything that you were showing. I wanted to just sit here and start sewing myself. So thank you so much for being on today. And we look forward to the ruler class with you. And we'll give the dates on that too. So thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you for having me.
And we'll see you at the event.
Okay.
All right. So.
All right.
Do you want to start with the machine?
Yes, let's have some machine pricing because this is a machine you don't want to miss out on. It's very amazing. So the Skyline S7 Anniversary Edition, the MSRP is $3,199. We're selling it today at $2,699. So that's a really good deal. Plus, on top of that, AVS is going to give you a $200 gift card. So this is a deal you don't want to miss out on. So you'll get your gift card for $200 and plus the really good deal on this machine. And I know all you viewers, I've been watching your comments. You're just amazed with it like I am. I just want to play with it. So if you're interested, give us a call, come into the store and grab this deal while we have these machines. And when is this? Oh, the bi-level foot is 20% off. So the MSRP is $63.99 and the sale is $52.99. And that's the Janome bi-level foot. That is an amazing foot for doing your binding. I love it. And then our ruler work party with Sam is Friday, August 1st from 9 to 4 p.m. or Saturday, August 2nd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So, oh, Friday might be full. So Saturday. Yes. Okay. So definitely sign up for Saturday and come have some fun. I mean, Sam is a wonderful person and he has so much knowledge to share with you besides of what he just showed on the thumbs up today.
And, you know, the Skyline he talked about was a great classroom model.
Oh,
and so,
yeah.
You know, how are you going to bring it to class?
Yeah, exactly. This is a great one to bring to class.
How are you going to bring it?
Oh, how are we going to do it? Yes, with the trolley, the Tudos. So these are great bags too. They're very sturdy. They roll really easy. They have a nice handle on them, which I don't have the handle to show you, but these are just a cool bag. So you don't want to miss out on the prices of those either. What were we selling these at?
So $319.
$319 MSRP. Oh, MSRP is $351.99. So it's on sale for $319. So just food for thought here. You get your Skyline S7. You get that $200 gift card. And guess what you can put it towards? That Tudo bag, which makes that Tudo bag a heck of a deal. So definitely come in and take advantage of this. Was there any other questions out there?
I think
Did everybody get them answered?
We got some great prices. People are
yeah. Oh, yes.
Deal. Sandy said his class was great last year.
Cool. Yeah. So don't miss out on his event with the ruler work because he really is a fun and knowledgeable teacher.
I think that's
okay. Mary, did you want to come say anything more about this machine?
Hello, I didn't
Here.
get to see it.
Yes, you just stand next to me and you can talk.
This is unusual. Okay. Just hold it. Thank you. All righty. Now, what I wanted to say, I'm always on your right. I can't be
okay. Go figure. Oh, she's always on the right in the car.
in the car. So yeah, I'm always a passenger. So when we go back and forth, our treks back and forth from work to home, work to home, work to home. Anyway, so this is my what do you call it? Comfort spot.
Yeah, you're on the
my
right.
comfort spot. That's right. Yeah. No, I didn't get to see everything. I had to miss it, but oh my gosh. Now you can see why this machine and the Janomes are such great machines. They can do so much. They're heavy, so they're not too heavy. Of course, but they're really heavy duty machines. So they're not going to move on you when you're sewing. And I just want to say, I just had to add my 2 cents because I love my Janomes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and you were giving prices and everything already.
Yes.
I missed that part.
So
yeah. Oh,
sale
wow.
price $2,699, and you get a $200 gift card.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's a heck of a deal.
Better take advantage of that. And because you have a machine that does so much, as you were seeing, and Sam was introducing all that to you. So it's going to be fun too with the ruler.
Oh, yes. Yeah. This machine is just amazing. I love it.
Yeah. So now you're giving away.
Now we're going to do our drawing that we normally do for our $50 gift card. It's giveaway time. You got to stay in here for that. No, you're going to stay in that. So,
I did that right into the
our secret word today is sky.
Woo!
Capital S, lowercase KY. Sky.
Sky.
Let's see who wins today.
Who is watching today, Barbie?
Oh, everybody.
Everybody was out there. Oh,
Gail hasn't won in a long time. I think Gail needs to win.
I see.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Uh-oh. What happened? Can't see. Got small. There we go.
Oh, Caroline, Debbie, Kathy. Oh, hi, Kathy Hefner. Wanda.
I know everybody.
Wow.
All our friends.
Yeah. Sheila, what are you doing watching? She's in class. Rita. Wow. Lots of people.
Yeah.
So when does this happen?
Yes. Oh,
Are they
Peggy's
putting-
on there too. Good morning, Peggy.
Look at all the skies coming
Marina,
in.
I know. The sky is blue. And look, it's blue.
And the
The
sky
word is blue.
and the sky is the limit with these Janome
Yeah.
machines. You can
Oh,
do so much
yes.
with them.
Oh my gosh, I am so amazed with this one.
I think you're just getting a sewing machine and you're getting something that's going to help you
Yes.
do just about everything as far as your sewing and adventures are
Ah.
concerned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I just love how they
Danielle.
sew.
Danita, hi
Mhm.
Danita. Rosie.
Come on, get your
Brenda.
word in there.
Brenda's getting
We
closer to
got-
the time.
Yeah. Yes. We have 33 entries. So 42 live. Hasn't
Yes.
grown anymore. Should we just go ahead and do it?
We'll give it maybe 15 more seconds.
Okay.
Oh yeah, well there
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
Gail guess too.
Oh,
Yeah,
Gail
that's
just
better.
typed in.
Yeah,
All right.
Gail.
Yes. Gail needs to win. She hasn't won.
I have a snow.
Mhm.
I have a snow and
Uh,
keep on coming.
I'm
You still
putting her
have a
name out
chance.
there. Gail. Gail.
We want you all to win. We
Yes,
want you all
do.
to win, but
They did that last
Yeah.
yeah, she did.
Yes, and then her friend won. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
week. All right, you guys give me the
All
word.
right. Okay, let's do it.
Do it.
Yes, let's do it. I'm always excited to see who wins.
This is the most exciting
I
thing
know.
all day today.
It's fun. Lorraine
Lorraine
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
Congratulations.
Oh.
Well, come in and see us and make sure that you come in and get this skyline while that deal lasts. That's pretty good.
We'd love to sit down
Yes.
here with you and show you
Mhm.
in person.
Yes. It's an amazing machine. And I'm not just saying that. It really, truly is.
She didn't believe me so much, but now she's a believer.
Well, I didn't know what all the buttons did because my S5 did not have all this. And I love the S5. Just think how much trouble I could have gotten into
Oh,
with
boy.
this machine.
Yeah.
So come on in and
Well, there's still time. You
Check
can still
it
get in
out.
trouble.
yeah, I still could. Yes.
There's no time limit for me.
So come in and see us. And thank you so much for joining Sam from Janome on this Thumbs Up Thursday today. And we look forward to seeing you next Thursday. And don't forget, like and share our Facebook page. And the more viewers we get up to that 100, we're going to be giving away the $100 gift card. So,
Oh, wow.
yes, make sure you share it with your friends.
And thank
And
you for
we'll-
letting me join you guys today.
I love it. It took
Yeah.
forever to get her in here. She's here today. So we will see you next Thursday. Thank you so much.